Good morning, great and glorious human beings. Elle Copeland and Stevie Copeland here to kick us off again for episode 15 of By the Runbook. Today, Mendy and Robbie are going to be going over 2.208. So if you guys haven't been following along, you can follow along in the release notes in Halo, or as always, you can use Robbie's really cool tool, haloreleases.remy.dev, which he's always updating. Before I bring the boys on, as a reminder, drop your questions, comments, use cases in the chat. We'll try to keep up with the version ID or the feature ID that we're on. And we will get back to you. So we'll put the show those up whenever you need it. And but in general, I'm going to leave the show for the guys and bring them on here to talk about all things Halo. Hello. Good morning.
Oh, he's here. Hello. Get worried.
There he is. Anything else I should mention, guys? We've got Halo releases. We're covering 2.208. Anything going on in your worlds that everyone should know about?
I don't think so.
Brilliant. All right. Well, I'm going to jump backstage. And everyone, drop comments, drop questions. We're happy to answer them. But otherwise, we look forward to you following along.
Awesome.
Thank you, El.
So, El gave us a ticket number. Hello.
Long time no see. Yeah, I have it up on screen.
Is that the one we've done?
That's the one where we left off, yeah.
Fine. So we want to look at the next one.
That's usually how it goes, yeah.
Nice. Add an option to service level to enable a different first response. That is cool. That's nice.
Yeah, you know, like, because do you have anybody that does reset response target after initial response is met?
I had some customers that did. Yeah. Discovered it was massively broken.
Yeah, just a pain. I wouldn't call it broken. I would just call it like very.
No, it used to be completely broken, but they did fix some of the issues. There was a bug with.
It wouldn't reset if the SLA was on hold.
Yeah. There was a bunch of bugs that did get solved, but yes, it's still a pain. I like the concept. To me, is
concept is like one of those things you want to aspire to, but nobody actually does, right? Like it's not worth it.
I think it's a really cool idea of just constantly basing your service based on how quickly we respond to you. I am kind of the opinion that resolution targets are broadly pointless because there is so many extraneous variables that lead you to situations where they will be breached, but it isn't anyone's fault, or that doesn't tell the whole story. And it's a really not very good metric, in my opinion.
So we manage that by basically setting the resolution target to the resolution date to the target date if it's set, or the start date if it's set, you know, and it falls to the target date or whatever as the priority. Like, I agree with you that resolution date is mostly pointless. However, I do think it does speak to how well you're managing the ticket. Like, there should never be a reason why you're breaching the resolution date if you do it correctly. With SLA on hold and with setting the date to the target date, there's literally no excuse. Like, your ticket's either waiting on somebody, in which case the SLA date's on hold, or it's not waiting on somebody, in which case you should be working on it, or it's scheduled, right, with a start to target date. At that point, like, you shouldn't be exceeding that. So if you're like, it doesn't really speak to how quickly you're solving the problem, but it does speak to how well you're managing the ticket flow, if that makes sense.
Yeah, and I think that's what it comes down to, right? Is it doesn't tell the whole story, which can be difficult. But yeah, but this is good in theory. SLA general settings, we can configure the first start date as different from the rest of the start dates.
Yeah, which is interesting because actually, like, a lot of MSP PSAs, they actually have 3 different SLA metrics, right? They have the first initial response, how long it takes to get triaged, so to speak, and then they have the first time it takes to actually start working. They say, like, oh, we found the problem, right? Like, problem identified, and then they have the resolution. Or maybe it's 4. I don't even know. But Halo only has 2, and honestly, like, typical, like, ITIL, ITSM really just has 2. And so this would be an interesting way to add. So I think like maybe you do this. I know like TechPulse does this, and we did it too. We create like a third SLA, like a separate SLA for triage. So when tickets come in via email, it has its own SLA timer, and that's how we basically solve that. Where's the other SLA? So the time to actually triage a ticket is that first SLA, and then you have the response resolution. This would be another way to give us that extra SLA metric, which is interesting. But it is going to reset on every response, though, right?
Oh, so this would be, well, I guess it's just allowing you, because you can set a different value for the first one. It's still going to be stored in the same way, like in the actions table, right? If you're doing this reset.
Yeah.
The only difference is going to be whether it's inside or outside based on whatever you've set originally.
Yeah, additional separate value. Yeah.
Which is cool. Yeah, it's good that it exists.
Yeah. Added FAQ list ticket field as an available option for workflow automation criteria. Okay.
What? The FAQ list ticket field.
Okay. I don't know what that.
I don't know what that means.
Tickets go on an FAQ list? Is there a, I guess we should go look instead of just looking at it like we're dumb.
Oh.
So it's automation criteria talking about.
Knowledge base articles, right? The knowledge base.
Yeah, but is it the knowledge base here? Automation criteria has a new criteria for FAQ
list. Yeah. So if the KB that you're creating is within the FAQ list of whatever, then it will be a ticket, right? Because you can, I guess for people who don't understand, you can set up your knowledge base article creation to be done through tickets. So you can create KBs.
That's probably what it is. Yeah.
Yeah. So the idea here is, if I create a new KB article and it's going to live within inside a certain FAQ list, then this is allowing us to do workflow automation criteria. Very, very niche and specific, but yeah, sure. Why not? Let's have it.
Yeah. Interesting. Added a chat profile setting to allow the update of the end user of tickets linked to an anonymous chat if the Halo chat inbound event upgraded non-chat is successfully called.
Again, this is like if it's effectively this is able to if it's able to determine it is an end user, then change it to an end user. But again, this is very, very niche. You'll know if you need this.
Oh, added clock in, clock out to shifts.
Yeah.
Do you have anyone that uses? I think we talked about this with Connor. We don't really use shifts very much.
No, we have.
They're not great.
We have a few customers who want on-call shift stuff. It's still not quite there, but it's getting closer. There's a new release in one of the, I think it's 2.226. I think I sent this to Connor the other day. There's now, so you can do on-call notifications now. But before 2.2.6, it was anyone on shift during that for that notification. So
so they all
allowing like to specify a shift type for that on-call notification.
Are you talking about like this setting down here, or is that you're saying?
No. So if you go to notifications, you can. There's a new notification type.
Okay.
Called shift notification or on shift notification, I think it is. Agent on shift.
Yeah.
There you go. Okay. But before now, this will be all agents currently on shift, not on shift XYZ. So the new option that's coming very soon.
You'll have like a shift.
Is actually coming on the right-hand side of notification type. So it will, when you select agents on shift, it will then say which shift
you want. Okay.
Yeah. Interesting. Which is nice. The whole point being, if there's an agent on call, then we can notify the on-call agent.
Interesting. I'm wondering, looking at this, I'm wondering if this actually solves a lot of the trouble that we have. And I don't know how many clients do you have that are using Halo timesheets for payroll?
Lots. And we hate it because it has many issues.
Would shift solve some of that problem? It's the ability to clock in, clock
potentially
out multiple times on one day, so to speak.
Yeah.
We can set shifts up for each day and then have them clock in, clock out, and the reporting would become easier, like presumably, because a lot of the problem right now is you don't have a real clock in, clock out. Like if they go from 8 to 5, and then they're on call at 7 p.m., like you're screwed. How do you capture that?
Right? And a lot of people will end up like logging a ticket when they get in the morning to like be their clock in, and I think this can simplify that a lot.
Yeah, so I'm wondering if it's worth exploring setting up shifts to replace like a de facto setup to replace the old style of work start, work end.
Yeah.
Or the existing style of work end. That's interesting. Okay. Yeah, this is definitely needed. 2 monthly scheduled period option.
Yeah, I'm sure it'll get another number at the bottom, so it'll be like 12 in the billing period options rather than 2, because that would makes total sense. Yeah.
Latest article links are now based on unique identifiers for article versioning. Those viewed counts for articles are now totaled for each version the article has had.
Oh, okay.
As opposed to being separate for each version the article has had. That would have been a dumb way of doing it.
View counts for articles are now totaled. No, I think before it was the total for that article. Now it's the total for the version.
Broken down by version?
Yeah, which makes sense, right?
I guess so.
I guess you would really want both numbers, but I'm guessing you could combine them to get both numbers, right? Yeah. You could just add it together in SQL, but hopefully it's displayed somewhere.
Added the option visible read-only to agent asset details screen visibility.
That is quite useful because we can determine then which asset types people could edit, agents could edit. But we can already do that.
Where is this talking about?
Asset detail screen visibility. Oh, no, it's individual fields on an asset.
Oh, you're saying they added under asset management, asset types.
Yeah.
Fields here, they've added read-only to this.
Yeah, we can make it read-only.
Yeah, agent asset detail screen. Look at that. They actually called it the same thing this time.
Nice.
Okay. Yeah, it looks like they've been building something like we see group names now.
Yeah, there's definitely been quite a bit of work on this, like proper dynamic field
visibility. Yeah, that's interesting. Okay, cool. This field must be unique. That's always been there. All right, that sounds cool. Nice. You can now configure a ticket to load balance upon reopening if the assignee does not meet the mandatory qualification matching criteria. More matching improvements. We had this last time too, or other improvements last time as well. What is Opinyin?
Customer feedback.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah,
anything special about their integration? Do you know, or do you know anyone who uses it, or?
No idea. I just Googled it at the same time.
Oh, okay. Good Googling, Robbie. Great job.
Oh, it's actually made by Freshdesk.
I see that. Actually, I just Googled it too. It's got the Freshdesk logo. Styling.
Fair enough.
Okay, cool. You can now send test emails for individual mail campaign email messages.
That's very needed in order for mail campaigns to be useful.
Added multiple new Halo API runbook, get client, get site, get asset.
Yeah,
wasn't there before. What the heck?
All right, yeah, it's weird. I mean, again, I think both of us end up just using SQL for this anyway, right? And just
we do
whatever we want.
But
it's nice to have this.
You know what astonishes me though is like they have create and edit. And like, isn't it the same API call?
Yeah.
Like, why do you have both? And I tried using one for the other and it didn't work.
Yeah, it doesn't work. I think they have weird. So runbooks are really weird in that they have a bunch of like specific protections and things.
Yeah, so you can't do stupid things.
So you can't like. Good example is you can't add an action as a real agent via a Halo API action.
You have to do it through regular.
You have to do it by creating your own API.
Yeah.
Which is not a bad thing in that instance, right? You probably shouldn't be able to do that because then anyone can kind of impersonate anyone, blah, blah, blah. But yeah.
Yeah. Oh, look. Why wouldn't this go together with the other note?
Oh, that would make too much sense. Oh, okay. So this is just a way to get agent views. Because before they didn't
I
count at
think
all.
before it was counted as one.
Right. Okay.
And now
Right.
it's like
Okay.
it's
So
splitting it,
before
and
everyone
counts
goes
are
the
on
same.
user, and agent views are only start counting once things enabled. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I can. Yeah. Sure.
Item group restrictions and a running cost total when adding items to new tickets on the self-service portal. Oh, that's cool.
Running cost total.
Running.
Hello.
I think
Did
we
Mendy
lost
disappear?
Mendy.
Oh, he's back.
There he is.
I was put into. Did my network drop? Maybe.
Maybe.
I was put into the whatchamacallit, backstage.
Welcome back.
Hold on. I'll just grab a quick ping while I'm running. Okay, moving on.
Yeah, a running cost total.
Running cost total. Did I say rubbing? I meant to.
No, I mean, I didn't know this is the thing. How is this determined?
So this is specifically for when users are trying to put items onto the ticket. Because you can put a catalog on tickets now. Did you know that?
Yeah.
So you can put catalog onto the self-service portal, so they can pick like a storefront essentially. And so as you add items to it, it'll throw a running cost total when adding items to tickets.
Which is determined by what?
By the cost
Monthly,
of the item.
Yearly?
Oh, I don't know.
A running
cost. Find out.
Oh, a running cost total.
Yeah, so if you add a computer, it's $500, $700. You add a laptop,
that makes more sense.
$800-900. It's a running cost based on what you're selecting.
Yes. I thought this was the running cost.
I don't know
what that makes sense. Like the maintenance cost.
Oh.
If you have a car, you have a running cost of a car. That's why I associate this. That's clearly wrong. But yeah, that was where my head was at.
When you start opening when you open an account, a bar tab, you have a running cost.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay. Yeah, nice. I don't have anybody who adds items to on the new ticket portal. We tried
doing it for MSP Geek, and we went a different way, but because there's some restrictions. But we'll probably go back to it once they actually have it built out properly.
Yeah.
Added a ticket field reference field can be searched and included in column profiles. Okay, how's that different than?
It includes the ticket reference. This will be an ITSM thing.
Yeah.
Incident versus
so. Like reference would be like an external reference. Like how's that?
No, as in INC if you prefix the ticket with INC, or SR if you prefix it with SR.
What?
So most MSPs, they have an email tag that's like MSP name - ticket number, but you can override that at the ticket type level.
Right.
So and ITSM will often do incident number, service request number, but they'll do INC or SR.
Got it.
So this has definitely come from them because they're looking to just.
So it's a calculated field automatically. It sounds like, right?
Yeah, it stores the start tag along with
the ticket number.
However, I bet you if you change the ticket type, it doesn't update. But we'll test that another day.
That sounds funny.
Yeah, again, it's almost definitely an ITSM thing. I don't think any MSPs really care about that.
Oh, nice. Okay, so now you can have logical grouping of subscribers on services. This is one of the biggest gripes is that you have these filters that are everywhere, these conditional dynamic building interfaces throughout Halo, and you never know, is it like an and or is it an or?
Yeah.
Because in some cases it's an and they all have to match, and in other cases it's an or and any one of them will match. So now they've been recently putting in these groupings that exist. They've done it now. This is old news for workflows and field list dynamic field value stuff. So it's nice that they finally got around to the subscriber side.
Yeah, kind of just doing it everywhere, right? It makes sense.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it does mean another click in a lot of places. I'm sure.
Drives me nuts because my muscle memory always throws me off.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So I'm like, click out. Oh crap! No, add individual, and then go back.
But yeah, that's good. It's useful.
Yeah. Some new dollar variables we can add in. No big deal.
Yep. Great.
Improvements to agent resource booking. Added a system automation which is used to send a reminder email prior to the appointment to the user and/or agent. Nice. Okay.
Yeah.
Per ticket type, you can configure how many minutes before the appointment to send a reminder. Why wouldn't you do it on the appointment itself? Okay, whatever.
You can set the default, the number of the reminder.
Or is it a default or is it a value?
Oh, that's a good point because it's going to be a value. So why
it's going to be a value? Why wouldn't you do it on the appointment type or on the resource booking type?
The resource type, yeah.
Yeah, the resource type, or because you can have multiple available appointment types to pick from when you're doing resource booking, right? Yeah. You could potentially present two on the same ticket type.
I can't argue with you. I agree.
What? Okay, cool. Add a system action type which allows an agent or user to cancel the next upcoming appointment on a ticket. Okay.
Nice.
The action will only show when there's an upcoming appointment on the ticket. Great. You can now configure the ticket type custom fields to show on agent resource appointment booking screen on the portal. This will allow the user to set a ticket custom field whilst booking. This is nice.
Yeah. There's another.
Not really useful for Rising Tide to switch from Calendly, but
yeah, it's not there yet.
No.
Yeah. Same we use Calendly as well. We're not moving anytime soon. There's too much convenience with it. But
yeah.
I think it gets more and more for the average MSP who's maybe using one of the other calendar integrations just for their technicians. This creeps ever closer to being just an easy, viable replacement.
Yeah. Added options to encrypt variables in response to custom migrations, methods, and runbooks. This is nice.
Yes.
You could potentially have sensitive information coming out of an API call or going into an API call in places other than a password. And so now you're able to just essentially encrypt that data.
Especially with runbook methods or individual methods that require the example here is great, right? An API key that you can't put into the custom integration itself. You have to hard code into the header for whatever reason.
Right.
Now we can
custom integration doesn't allow you to doesn't support custom headers.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. So that's the reason why. If it's not supported, then you have to put it elsewhere.
And at the moment, that was only plain text, so we can encrypt it. Great.
Yeah, exactly. Nice stuff. All right. You can set an expiry date for software against an asset. This has also been added as criteria for creating an automated ticket against an asset. That's nice. Please note it will only create a ticket per asset rather than per software. That's probably a good thing. Maybe?
Yeah, that's definitely a good thing, isn't it?
Okay, cool.
But yeah, assuming they all expire on the same day, yeah.
Yeah, and a ticket type level setting that can allow you to show hide approval actions for end users. So right now it's a global setting, or previously it was a global level setting to hide that or not, and now it's ticket type. This is nice for those who need it.
Yeah,
I noticed this some time ago, and I was like, "Wait, what? When did that come out?" And now I know.
Yeah.
I've been on beta for who knows how long,
yeah, I think this is nice. Again, it's just those who need it will not know they need it, but will definitely get value out of this. Just allowing whoever your team leaders are to edit their agent.
The idea is you can manage your specific agent. So, and the thing is how do you? So I lean heavily into the hierarchy where we basically have roles that assign teams, and the roles are mapped to Azure groups. How do you deal with team leaders? Do you just assign that statically, or do you build a role?
Typically, we have where people need it, we just assign them.
Statically,
it's annoying, but it's one of those. Depends on the size you get to, right? If you've got a 1,000 agent company, then maybe there's some worthwhile in building out a role that makes you a team leader of each thing and doing that all via Azure.
Yeah.
If you've got even at 50, 60, 70 staff, right? How many times is that team leader rolling over? Probably rarely.
Right.
Probably just apply it to that.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. But what I've done and I've only done this one time. But what I've done in the past is basically defined. So we break up our roles by saying it's a team dash role or a permissions dash role, and we basically put permissions of teams only in that role.
Yep.
So we had we basically went through and said, okay, we created a permissions dash team lead, and we granted additional permissions to team lead. Yeah. And then we basically gave it to everyone who was a team lead, regardless of which team they were in.
Yeah.
And then we had an automation that would run daily that would check all the roles and find, okay, if you're a member of a team and you're also in a team lead permission, And we're
Yeah.
gonna make you team lead of that team that you're in.
Yeah, nice. If you're in the team at all?
Yes. Not access to, but like able to be assigned tickets.
Yeah, fine.
If you're able to be assigned tickets and you are also a team lead, you are team lead of that team.
Yeah, you could do that, or you could also, if they only needed one, you could base it on a default team as well, right?
Default team was another one I was considering.
Yeah, but it depends on their needs, right? But yeah, makes
exactly.
Sense. Question for you on that.
Yeah.
When you lock down, and I think I know the answer, and I think this is what I've been doing anyway, but it's just an interesting question. If you have a action on a ticket, for example, that you want to restrict to a certain set of users, that's a new role?
No.
Or based on the permissions roles?
It's usually based on permissions roles. Sometimes I do it based off team role. In reality, it just depends on like what you're scoping it to. Right. So it's not about being permission or team. It's just about who's in that. Well, the way I describe it when I talk to like the clients, I say permissions control the functionality within Halo that you can do.
Yep.
And the team controls where you can do that functionality.
Yeah.
Right. And so if there's a button that is focused on the specific area and say like only these people can do this button, then it goes on the team. But if it's something that like people of this job description or of this role need access to do this thing, then I go based off permissions. Role.
You're right. It becomes a mix sometimes. I have also done specific roles for like a specific action.
I've done because you've had very rarely. I don't like two roles just for like it has to be worth it, you know.
Yeah. But it's always going to be a balance of these things, right? But you come very similarly down to where I do.
Yeah, I would rather do two, by the way, because now you can do like or groups. I'd rather do two different conditions to apply the people that I need than create a whole new role of everyone.
Yeah.
So, cool. Well, if you are a team lead and you want to change your agent settings, you can now do that if you turn the setting on. Or you can allow your team leads to do that if you turn that setting on. Bulk add assets to a ticket via the asset search modal screen. Oh, bulk select all. Okay.
Oh, that's what it was. I was like, you could already pick more.
You can already do that. Yeah, you just keep clicking and then bulk add, but it's a bulk select all. If you have your filter returns less than 250 assets. Okay. And you want to build out these filters on the side. Most people don't realize that exists, but there's like this filter area that you can add additional fields and whatever and filter down so you get like a narrow set of assets and then just bulk select all at that point. Sounds like somebody's awake.
Yeah.
Where did we just go? Because I lost.
Agent preference added the ability to set a chat profile override at the user role level.
This one, yeah. Oh, interesting. User role uses chat profile over those configured at organization, client, and global. Okay.
Yeah.
If that's none, so it still overrides. If it's none, it'll no chat will go to the user. If it's not set, I guess it inherits. So that's a difference.
What?
There's an issue with some of these things where if you go like there's a difference between none as an actual value and not set, which is no value, right? And oftentimes you can't put it back to not set because Halo doesn't have a way of pushing that back up the API as null because it just gets ignored as a null value.
Yeah, but where is that?
I wonder if that's going to be an issue. Let's take a look. If we go to users,
look as well.
User roles, and go to like site admin, we can assign a chat profile.
Is it done by the
chat settings?
Oh, in the user role. Yeah.
And so there's it like right now it's not set versus none or default chat profile. And if I set default,
if you select, can you then exit out?
Can I then exit to be no value and save it?
Oh.
It does work. Okay, looks like they finally captured that.
I still don't like it being nothing as not set, not an option called not set.
Yeah, I don't like that either. Okay, so none is different than not set. Keep that in mind.
Yeah.
If the user has multiple roles, the chat profile override of the role with the lowest ID, which has the field set, will be used. Oh man.
Lowest ID.
How are you supposed to be able to like that makes sense in terms of the programming logic.
I mean, yeah.
But it doesn't really help you in terms of controlling what you want to do.
Yeah, that's not fun.
Just make sure you don't overlap roles with the same chat profile.
You should. Hopefully, you don't have too many roles applying to a user.
Well, the same structure we just described for teams permissions would help with that too. Because you can apply more than one role to a user, obviously. So just keeping, if you're creating a role for if you're creating roles for approval permissions, don't put chat profiles on there.
Yeah.
FAQ lists can now be included in knowledge base links and will auto expand on open. Oh, that's nice.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. That's nice. But you have to turn this on. It's under configuration knowledge base under FAQ list setting. You can now specify HTML in setting a pop-up note on a ticket rule. Okay. That's nothing new. It's just an extension of existing functionality.
That doesn't work. Yeah, I tested this the other day. I was like, oh, discovered it doesn't work. Yeah, I don't think it works right now, but
it's because it works under customer. Like if you do a pop-up note on a customer,
but specifically in a ticket rule, I tried it, ticked the box, and it just came up with raw HTML.
Okay.
So it may well have been fixed by now, but when it was released, it was.
How long ago did you try it?
A few weeks ago on 208.something. So yeah.
So if we add pop-up notes, like this has already been here. We can display the HTML. We can put something like H3. I don't know, P style equals color yellow or something. Get really ugly. I don't know if that's how you do this. Hello world. Am I missing anything, Robbie?
No, it's fine.
H3, okay. And then we can save this. And now any ticket we open up, we'll just grab that hello world, right? That comes across. So that's interesting. You're saying if we put this into a rule,
ticket rule,
it'll come through as raw text.
It did, yeah.
So how should we trigger our rule based off of?
Do it on new ticket, and then you can just make it launch for any new ticket.
I already have a ticket open. Why don't I just do it here based off of, I don't know, impact or something, or priority. So then we're just going to say priority is equal to 1. And we'll set this to like precedence 1 and not stop. And we're not going to display notification, right? It's down here. We want it.
Yeah.
In HTML.
And then you just paste it in there.
Style equals color red. How about that? This is critical. And then P H3. H1 is pretty big. So we save that, right?
Yep.
And then we go back here and we set the priority to be critical. That should match the rule. Look, it works. It's a little bit odd. It doesn't like expand the same length or something, or is it just? Why does it line break there? That's odd.
That is odd, but that's good. It's working.
But it works.
Nice.
You can throw like a GIF in there. Have you tried iframing and see what happens?
No.
Cool. Well, that's how that works. Interesting. Credit notes are displayed alongside invoices on self-service portal. Okay, that's good.
Oh, so it's just a new line for it.
They have way too many columns already on that screen. Like,
yeah,
that's not helpful.
And you can't change them,
and you can't change them yet, right? They haven't adjusted that.
No.
Oh my god! Added a new setting to limit agents and users to 1 active session.
That's nice.
That is nice.
Yeah.
Synnex quote lines import. Okay. Cool. Added a specific colors for counter widgets when using dark mode. Ooh.
Yeah.
I don't use dark mode, so
no, me neither. And I don't think you should use Halo's dark mode, but that's a whole separate conversation. But yeah, no, it's nice. You can set the options.
This guy does.
Yeah.
It's now possible. It's now about create down payments for sales orders for both fixed price products and time material projects. Down payment invoices can be created. So this is a little bit like a version 0.5 of this feature. It does work, and we do use it. In some cases, we've used it where, like, we've had a client tell us, like, we want to pay for, they get annual licensing, and they're like, we want to pay for it before they get billed. Like, they want to pay for it in advance because they want to pay for it in the previous year or something like that.
Fine.
So we don't want that hitting our P&L. right? So we would do a down payment invoice, and we'd hold that money in a liability in a deferred revenue account, basically. And then when we get billed by Halo, we'll then pay that bill. So it only hits our P&L at that time. And if for them it shows it as an expense in that moment because they're paying,
They can pay it off in the previous year. You can pay it off in this year when it actually comes out.
Yeah,
nice.
That's nice. But this is cool. It's getting there. Level settings and subsequent to limit options to web access level list.
So they gave the option years ago at this point, after I complained about it, to
for the top level and
hide. They've just added all of them now.
Okay.
Site organization, department, site contact, top level, and all.
So if you go to self-service portal, if I can type.
Not quite all of them, but most of them. Right at the bottom of the page, they're just all
the same.
a little bit higher up. There you go. There's just a big option there. All of those. So they used to.
This was what they only had. Like these two, I think, were the only ones they added after you complained.
Yeah, because it was like the scariest thing in the world, right?
I know. I complained to them about it, and they were like, "Whatever, just be smart." That's before my consulting days, I brought that up with them, and they're like, "Whatever, just don't click the wrong thing." And I was like,
which is fine until like your first line.
So you do click the wrong thing.
Edit agent or edit user permission, right?
Yeah, exactly. Every user has access to all your clients now. Great, good job.
Yeah, and they could just, you could have a level 1 technician who has access to create new users. Who creates a new user.
It's like, all clients, sure, we want that. Like, this is the client owner. They should have everything to all.
They could even just, as a, if they're leaving, they could create a new user in unknown, give them all access, and then just remember the username and password. Like, it's very, very scary option that it shouldn't even exist, in my opinion. But that's
there's a use for it. So.
I get, it's like
all clients. I agree with you, but the top level, there's a use for.
Yeah. I think I've used all clients in one very specific scenario. It was like a call answering service who would actually log into their Halo, or they logged into the user portal and log tickets on behalf of. Obviously, a lot of those kind of call answering services won't use your platform. They use their own, and then will email you or whatever. But these guys would. So we ended up, they had an end user portal they signed into.
So interesting.
And it worked pretty well, but
that's a good.
It always scares you, right? This is not a nice option.
Interesting. All right. Well, we can use access control for reports. So that's
this is great. I set this up today
for a
customer to give some users access to some specific reports without giving them access to everything. It was great.
Mm-hmm. I mean, right now, like one of the things we've been doing is we go through each folder and just make sure nobody has access to I don't know, profitability reports. That's a folder here.
Yeah. Now, what I really like is the bottom option, the option 3, which is use access control for report groups, reports, data sources, and composite reports. So if you do that option, by default, no agents will have access to any of the reports. So in that report permission type, just above the beta, use the new pie chart.
What? Oh, here. Yeah.
Yeah. So the bottom option there is, in my opinion, the way you should. Well, it's obviously annoying because you then need to add every individual user to each report, rather than just giving them the report group. But I like the idea. I believe the second option would give them, if you give them the report group, it gives them the reports, which is not bad either, but you just have to understand what you're doing, right? And the bottom option is you have to have access to the individual report.
Yeah. Which can be painful depending on how you're doing it.
Yeah.
There's got to be a better way to manage in the RMM is always a great example to talk about the permissions matrix, because there's like a separate screen you go to manage permissions, and you can say boom, this has that, and even in Hoodoo, Hoodoo's permissions on groups, you have a checklist in one area, you just go through and set allow, deny.
It's there's lots of places like this for Halo that would benefit from that exact point, right? Agent access control is one massive one where I should be able to go to the agent or ideally go to a role and configure access control across every
And you can
entity.
see it there.
You can see it, but you can't edit it. Like, would make a lot of sense, right? We were also talking about statuses. So the other day we added some new statuses. Now we need to go back into every ticket type and restrict which statuses are available.
Okay.
Or if you've already done it, you need to edit which statuses are now available for each ticket type, right? If I could just go in the status and said available for these ticket types and do the reverse, it would take me like 30 seconds to do a job that takes like 5 minutes to do the other way, depending on how many
And I was thinking about this because like it's almost the old way, the old like the old UX experience, the old UI theory that people would follow, whatever the science, whatever you want to call it. You know, the joke used to be like on a Windows XP 98.7, like there's 1,000 different ways to do the exact same thing.
Yeah.
Right. And it's not just because like they were being silly about it. It's because like you could be anywhere and you can always get to where you need to go from wherever that is. Right. And so that's the same idea here that's missing is that you can't go to statuses and add it to ticket types. You have to go to ticket types per ticket type and add the statuses, which is
and we're talking what ticket click on a ticket type, click on allowed values, click edit, click add, click the status, click OK, click save. That is 7 clicks versus click the status.
Per ticket type.
yeah, exactly. Click the status, click edit, click the ticket type or ticket types, click save. That's 4. And we're adding 1 per ticket type. Like you said, if it's ticket type level, we're adding 7 per ticket type. Right. So you do 3, you're talking about hundreds, or you talk 10, we're talking about potentially hundreds of clicks saved. It's definitely important, and hopefully will come one day.
One day. All right. Well, that takes us out of 2.208 and up to 2.20. 2.210. What am I saying?
Before we you're just jumping right ahead.
Yeah, why not?
Before we move on, I want to open up the floor and see if anyone has any questions about what we covered. There's a couple people watching. Is there anything that Mendy and Robbie covered? We talked a little bit of theory about setting up permissions in Azure versus in how that carries over to Halo. So if anyone has any questions, you want to drop them in the comments. We'll probably move on pretty quickly, but figured we'd give everyone a second to breathe.
Yeah. 2.10 is not too big, so we might. I think we'll struggle to finish this today, but that's okay.
It's not small. What do you mean not too big?
Yeah. You guys just got through 30 features and there's 60.
Yeah, we might struggle, but if there's any questions, by all means, we can. Even if they're not related, we'll happily answer pretty much anything.
All right, we got one here from Plastic Printer 1. You mentioned SLA resolution target and a target date. Is this something that you can set on the ticket?
Yes. Can you bring back my screen?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so on a ticket type, you have the ability to set, so under tickets, ticket types, you have the ability to put a field on any ticket type. I'm just picking the first one. What's called either a start date, which can be start date, and time, 2 different fields. You also have like start time. If you want to do as 2 separate things, you can do start date and start time as 2 fields, or you can do start date and time as 1 field. You can also do target, which is the same thing. You got target date and time as 1 field that does both, or target time, which you can combine with target date.
Or and 1 field in the database, right? But just different ways of displaying the same information effectively.
Exactly. And this is primarily designed functionally for project management and tasks. And potentially opportunities. Like you may see some overlaid hints there that may not make sense for your use, but it does work. And what would happen is inside the SLA itself, if we go to service level agreements, we can go to a priority. And so resolution target, we can come down here and we just check these 2 boxes or 1 box or whatever it is that you want to do at that point. And it'll basically, like when the ticket comes in, it has a specific response and resolution target. You work the ticket, you talk to the client, and you decide, you know what, this ticket is actually going to be done 2 weeks from now. You can set that target date as to when it should be done. And it doesn't put the ticket on SLA hold, which is key. If you're putting it on hold, you don't need to move the SLA time. This ticket is not on hold, but it's just showing up on your list, and it has a target date for the future. And so the SLA resolution date is set to that future date at that point.
Yeah, the only additional, obviously, the other option there is to set it to the start date, which often sounds like very odd. The only use case I can really think of for this would be for example, a new starter ticket type, where we might typically you would use a custom field starting date for that user, but there's potential where you could actually update that to be the start date of the user, and then you could use that field to determine the SLA or SLA resolution date, being the idea that we need to have completed the ticket before that person starts, right? Now, as well, you could still use target date because you can override the label of the field as well. But yeah, any one of those is an option.
Yeah, and again, you just figure out like what's best for your use case, and then but that's how it works. It just pushes the date out.
Yeah.
And what Robbie's talking about is when you do have the start date or let's say target date on here, we can come in here and say override the display label to be like, you know, user starting date or something like that, or joining start date or onboarding date or whatever it is you want to do at that point for any of those fields there. Cool.
Awesome. Well, very good. Plastic Printer says amazing, thank you. I don't think there's any other questions. So if you guys want to, depending on your field, I know Robbie, you've got sick one in the house. Do you want to do a few more, or you want to call it today?
Yeah, we'll do a few more.
Oh, all right. So moving on to 2.210, not 20 or whatever Mendy was trying to jump to.
2.210.
2.210 starts with using the Addigy integration button.
Yeah, there's now a little similar to Ninja and all the other RMM integrations.
There's a deep link.
There is,
the device. Expenses changes. Nice. Filters have been added to the expenses list for ages and date ranges. Sublists have been added to rating review, and it is now possible to export the expense list to CSV. So again, just marching forward towards progress of eventually having a usable expense module. Maybe not quite there yet, but
it's still not. We're getting closer.
It's definitely closer than what it used to be.
Yeah.
Halo portal and agent application, including dashboards, iframes can now be embedded in SharePoint pages. So that's interesting. They must have added that into like their allowed course list or something.
Yeah.
Does it? Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah, interesting.
I don't know why you'd want on SharePoint. I guess SharePoint page is not. It's not document. They're talking about like the
intranet.
Yeah. Setting has been added to recurring invoice configuration, so the recurring invoices appeared in the ready for invoice list and are auto created if the next creation date falls in the current selected month. What? Why would you want that to happen?
Oh, for the entire month.
Yeah, what I mean, the point of setting a date is that it happens at that date. Like, why would you want it to be in a month?
Yeah, I don't know that one either.
Okay, cool. If you want that, then we should have a conversation about how you're doing billing, because it's probably not right.
Yeah.
Setting has been added to the contract agreement configuration that will ensure when adding a billing plan combination using billing template, a record will be added for each matching contract agreement. Settings found and configured, blah, blah. When applying billing templates, add a billing template for each matching contract. So what this is doing is basically creating, the idea is, and this is a change to a lot of, maybe not really a change to how you're doing things, but this is a discussion about how you're doing things for sure. Do you have clients, Robbie, that would, when the contract's renewing, they would expire the old contract and create a brand new one, even though it's the exact same contract type?
Oh, no, we tell them not to do that.
We tell them not to do that too.
Next call date is the answer to that.
The next call date is the answer to that for sure. But there are scenarios where you would have a client that changes contract type in the middle. Yeah. Right. Okay. And so then at that point, they would expire the old contract and create a brand new contract with a type, or would they change the existing contract? Which one would you do? Would you change the existing contract to the new type, or would you expire the old contract and make a new record?
You really have to expire the old one, because there can be scenarios where they might be moving to a prepay agreement, right?
Yeah.
You don't have a choice. So yeah, you kind of you have
and
to
you
do
should
that.
follow the same thing every time. So like even just for that says you should be doing it. So what would happen though is when you apply a billing template and the rules get evaluated what should apply to the client, it would skip contracts that are expired or not active. And so the billing rules, if you update your billing template, because we do it all the time. Hey, you got 100 clients, you just change your billing template, just go click the button and it just updates everyone. Now thinking about, we've got this client that had a contract expire. The rules will update and remove the reference to that existing contract that's expired, which means that time entered onto that contract, if it ever gets recalculated, falls off.
Recalculation. That's that I wasn't following you until you got to that. Yeah.
It's all. So what this does is this assigns a rule for every contract, regardless of whether it's expired or not. Because when the time entered is evaluated against the billing logic, it's already accounting for the expiration. It's only going to take time that matches the date of when the contract is active and apply to that contract. And if it doesn't, it's going to skip that rule entirely and then look at the next one. So we're not going to have a conflict of like, it matched the rule and failed. It never matched the rule in the first place. So we want to turn this setting on. This is something that you want to have on, probably. And if you're doing your contract management, do not expire and make a new contract of the same exact type. You should only ever have one contract of that type under that client.
Yeah.
If it's active. And if you are changing the type, then you want to expire that contract and make a new contract with that separate type and turn this setting on. Is the key.
Yeah. This next one is actually great, even though it's really like small and seems insignificant. This is super useful, especially that last contacted date. Having this in from Ninja gives you so much power to start to report on devices that have been offline for 30 days and all that kind of goodness. And we can report that to customers. We can report that internally. We can build alerts effectively, right? We talk about this a lot, but you can use reports to be daily alerts. This type of thing doesn't need to be real time, but you can create a report that should be empty, therefore won't send you a notification or an email, and then you can set it up so that if there's ever data in that report, it emails you every day. And this is a great example. Devices that have been offline for 30, 60, 90 days. At some point, those probably want to get depreciated out of Ninja so you can stop paying for them.
Well, at some point, you can actually set up a runbook that runs SQL, pulls the values, grabs the Ninja ID, and goes and trashes it from Ninja's API.
Yep.
Which they do have a delete method for agents in their API, but you have to reach out to them to get it turned on. You have to sign a waiver that you're not going to screw your own data and blame them for it or something like that.
Yeah, interesting. Yeah, the one downside of Ninja's delete, which I wish they adopted. This the first and last time I'll ever say this. I wish they adopted the Datto method, which was in Datto we could double delete. I always called it a device.
Recycle and then purge.
Yeah, and then if it came back online, it would just re-add itself. Whereas with Ninja, the way it works is it will always offboard the device. If it comes back online, it will offboard it. Whereas what I wanted is, I think this device is gone.
Yeah.
But I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah.
And if it does come back online, if someone pulls it out of the cupboard, right?
Then at least it comes back and we know that,
I don't want to not be able to get on it. I want to be able to remote onto it. So that was the one thing. But yeah, this is great.
Interesting. What would be really great though is if we were able to use this in the dynamic, like the recurring invoice automatic quantity calculation. That would be nice. The problem is that if you do, there's no relative date value. Like it's a date where you have to set an actual date for comparison. There's no relative.
Yeah, the only way is to combine that with a runbook, right? That's then like number of days offline, which is then returning 30 or using SQL quantity or they're all messy ways that you could do it.
Exactly. Setting has been added to the opportunity type so that the send button can be removed from the quote screen so that the quote can only be sent from the ticket opportunity. Yes, I need to turn that on. We do that. We don't want quotes being sent from the quote screen. We want it like that's how Rising.
Especially because they end up with different email templates, even if it's the same
you can't
template.
Control. You have more control over the action than you do over the built-in quote send button, and it's just dumb. So we should turn that on. Hide the send button on the quotation that's based off ticket type. Interesting. Setting has been added to the asset field property so that the change history records are not created for the asset field.
Oh, okay. I don't know why you would ever want this, but sure.
I was literally just going to bring this up when we were talking about last contact date with Ninja. One of the things I tell clients about mapping fields is only map fields you need, and you should not be mapping fields to change too often because it's just going to build this audit history for no reason, right? We don't care about that field changing, and it's going to blow up the asset because at some point, if the log gets too big, the asset starts failing. Like you can't update it anymore, and you have to delete it and whatever. So this is probably what that's for.
Yeah.
Where you can go to the last contact date you're importing and just say, don't track that change. We don't care.
Yeah. No, that's
it's
good.
going to change literally every time it checks in. It's going to be different. IP address would be another one we probably don't care about really, depending on how often it's changed.
Especially if it's the IP address list, which is like
oh my god, that's
4 miles long. With
permission notice for user and user roles that invoice is access restricted to no access site client. What?
Oh, so they've changed the button.
Places that can view. This burned Benji Pays. I read this and I forgot to tell them about it. And then they asked me later, like, wait a second, did this change? Because they use Halo permissions to grant access to. Benji Pays is like a really tight integration to Halo. So they use their portal login for single sign-on. They use their permissions. They can use the permissions of Halo to grant people access to it. And then they were using this checkbox and it disappeared. Like, wait a second, what happened to the claims? So we're like, oh, it changed. Sorry.
Yeah.
So that's interesting. Overriding contract agreement is set against ticket, but not configured to show in the field list, and it will still show, but only administrators will be able to edit, update the field. Okay, that's useful, I think. There are certain times where people don't realize there's a contract on the ticket.
Yes.
And so like they don't know why the billing plan's not applying or whatever. It's not working out well. And you have to literally go and add the contract field to the ticket to go find it.
Yeah.
So in this case, it's saying like, look, if there is a contract, we're going to show the field to you anyways.
Yeah, which is good. To administrators at least. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
Only to administrator, and for everyone, we'll be able to see it, but administrators will be the only ones able to edit or update the field.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. Database lookups on actions.
Be used when entering an action using the self-service. This is good, right? I think you're
really this is perfect. This is great. Yeah. Similar, same as the new ticket experience, just on an action. Great.
Yeah,
needed it forever. It's
the lookups actually work.
Nice to have it.
Updated accounting integrator released that is compatible with. That's
the new Sage. Really yeah, we don't care.
Sage UK. Yeah, if you're still using Sage, then
yeah.
But if you need the accounts integrator or account integrator, then you have problems, I guess. Something's been added to allow the ticket entities to be added to a separate group when creating invoices in the ready for invoicing area. What is that?
That's a new. That's cool.
What are ticket entities?
Wait.
What exactly does that mean?
I thought that was cool. Then I didn't realize what it means.
There's no screenshots. Like, why would they not do that? How much time do we have left? Can we demo this? We can't demo it.
No,
we will come back to this on the next.
Yes,
and we will see what it looks like.
Should we stop it there? Because I have a 4 o'clock as well. So
yeah, that's fine.
Maybe so we'll pick up there. If anyone has any questions about this, you're welcome to DM us. But we'll pick up here in 2 weeks.
Fantastic.
Yeah, very good.
See you then.
Ahead of time, like you can comment on our LinkedIn posts.
Yeah.
What questions are so we can answer them.
LinkedIn, YouTube. Kind of we try to stay pretty active. Both Renata and Rising Tide YouTube channels. So.
Any method you can find us, we'll answer the questions. Do whatever you want.
All right.
Find them.
Brilliant. Well, thank you, Robbie. Thank you, Mendy. We'll look forward to seeing you again next time.
All right.